Welcome to Yoga with Subhash. In this segment, we will be practicing the three bandhas or the three locks which are commonly practiced as a part of pranayama practices. These are locks which are called the pranic locks or the locks of the prana energy. Prana is the vital life force, and when you hold the breath and apply these locks, then the prana gets energized and revitalized. Now these bandhas are applied while you're not breathing. In general, in our pranayama practices, you can either inhale and hold the breath or exhale completely and hold the breath. So the breath can be held after full inhalation or after full exhalation. And then you can apply these bandhas depending on what practice you're doing. One or more of these bandhas can be practiced together. And then while you're holding the breath, you apply the bandhas, and while you're breathing in or out, you release the bandhas. So the three bandhas are, the names are Jalandhar Bandha or the chin lock, which is applied by lowering the chin down to the chest, resting the chin on the sternum area. The next is called the Mula Bandha or the root lock, which is applied by squeezing the muscles in the perineum area around the anus area. You kind of squeeze them inward from all sides and lift them upwards as well. So that's called the Mula Bandha or the root lock. Now both the chin lock and the root lock can be applied either after inhalation or after exhalation. The third lock, which is called the Uddiyana Bandha or the navel lock, that's the one that can only be applied after an exhalation. So you exhale completely all the air from the lungs, then you suck the belly inwards and then hold that position, and that is called the Uddiyana Bandha. It's a common practice that when you do the Uddiyana Bandha or the navel lock, the chin lock also is applied simultaneously with the navel lock. They kind of go together. So let's do a little practice now of each of these bandhas separately, and then there's another practice which is called the Maha Bandha or the great lock, which can be applied after exhalation. Now if you recall, the Mula Bandha, the root lock and the chin lock are applied both after inhalation and exhalation. The navel lock only after exhalation. So it's possible to apply all these three together at the end of exhalation, and that is called the Maha Bandha or the great lock. So we'll practice each of these individually first just for a couple of breaths, and then try to apply the full Maha Bandha as well. So again, for all pranayama practices, we try to keep the spine comfortably tall, shoulders should be relaxed, and we'll start with the chin lock first. So let's take a deep inhalation. At the end of inhalation, lower the chin down to the chest. The chin is resting on the sternum area, and you hold the breath for a few moments for whatever duration it's comfortable. When you're ready to exhale, first release the lock, lift the chin back up to the neutral position, and then exhale completely. Now I just want to mention that these breaths that we are taking are deep and soft ujjayi breaths. Now deep implying that when we inhale and exhale, we are filling the lungs to full capacity. So we're getting the air into the deepest part of the lungs. And remember, to do that, we engage all the three segments of the lungs. So as you inhale, start by filling the belly out, expand the chest, lift the collarbones up. That's one full inhalation. When you exhale, do the reverse, soften the chest, and finally suck the belly in, creating a nice cavity here. That's the final exhalation. So let's just do 2 breaths here like that. Inhale, hold the breath, apply the chin lock, exhale, hold the breath, apply the chin lock. Let's do it 2 times. And finally, just take a few natural breaths now. So this was an experiment with the chin lock or the Jalandhara Bandha. And next we will practice in a similar manner the root lock or the Mula Bandha. Remember, to practice the root lock, you squeeze the perineum muscles from all directions inwards and then lift those muscles up. So again, 2 breaths using the Mula Bandha. Close the eyes and just take 2 deep breaths. And once again, release the lock and then get back to your natural pattern of breathing, a few natural breaths now. So this was the practice of Mula Bandha or the root lock. And next we will practice the Uddiyana Bandha or the navel lock. And as I mentioned, both the chin lock and the navel lock usually go together. And since the navel lock is done only after an exhalation, what we will do is to force all the air from the lungs out. So we'll push all the air out and then hold the breath while we try to apply the Uddiyana Bandha or the navel lock. Now this doesn't have to be a long exhalation, just a full and forced exhalation. When you release the lock, take a deep breath in and then continue with a couple of more natural breaths. And after the breathing gets back to normal, we can try it one more time. So once again, expelling all the air from the lungs, applying the navel lock and the chin lock together, holding the breath, and then taking a deep breath in to complete the sequence. Again, take a few natural breaths. Bring your breathing back to your regular pattern of breathing. So this was the practice of the Uddiyana Bandha or the Navel Lock. And now, as I mentioned, after an exhalation, in addition to the chin lock and the navel lock, you could also add the application of the root lock. And then you can apply all three together, which becomes the Mahabandha or the great lock. So let's just try that for 2 more breaths, just as we did for the previous bandhas. Take a few easy breaths. When the breathing gets back to its natural pattern, we'll try it one more time. One full exhalation, forced exhalation, then the application of all the 3 bandhas. Again, practice a few natural breaths. So this was a demonstration of the 3 locks, and as I mentioned, they can be integrated with any of the deep breathing practices that we commonly practice as a part of the pranayama. It can also be applied after Kapalabhati or Bhastrika or any of the other short breathing practices as well. So for example, in the Ujjayi pranayama, you can apply this, the concept of these 3 bandhas. You can apply them during the Nadi Shuddhi or the alternate nostril breathing practice. In a recent video, I also demonstrated how to integrate that with the Kapalabhati practice. So the bandhas can be integrated with any of the pranayama practices. And when you do that, of course, many more benefits accrue as a result of these practices. And you can visit my blog for some more details about all the benefits that can come up as a result of the bandha practice. I thank you for watching this video. I hope to hear back from you with your feedback and comments. As always, I welcome your suggestions for any topics that you would like to see a video demonstration on for future. Namaste and have a wonderful day.